What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Tarun's Thoughts. My name's Tarun Shetty. These are my thoughts. Hope you guys are doing well. Cheers. So it's Saturday night. I'm not booked anywhere today. There's a story that goes along with this why, which you can agree or disagree with me. Well, let me start with this. As a comedian, you have to do whatever it takes to get better. That's just part of the journey of a good comedian. Or actually, there are no rules. You don't have to be good anymore. But in my belief system, it was. So I did whatever it took, right? You got to pass out flyers. I passed out flyers for this club called Gladys's in New York City. I was a door guy. A place called the Boston Comedy Club in the West Village. Like, just brutal jobs, especially with New York winters. But that's what I thought you have to do to get better. And for me, I thought it paid off. I learned so much, made so many great friends. I didn't get rich off of it, but there was a sacrifice for your art that I believe in, or I believed in. Anyways, so cut to Los Angeles. All these clubs, Laugh Factory, Comedy Store, they pay something now. Any spot you do, if you're hosting, they pay. And the reason is primarily because the Comedy Store in the 70s, Mitzi Shore, the owner, didn't pay, and the comedians went on strike. Like guys like Jay Leno, that generation. I think a comedian actually killed himself over this. So, comics don't get paid a lot, but they get paid something. In New York City, you can make, pretty decent money if you do like 10 spots a night. If you're a busy working New York comedian and all those spots pay, you're just bouncing around the city like a pinball, making something. So you can make a good living off of it if you're working enough. And of course, you do the road, you're getting paid X amount. Like, things are looking up for you. But when I got to LA, this one club in North Hollywood asked me to call in my avails, which means call in my, when I'm going to perform there. And they booked me on Saturday night, and I go there, sold out show, have a great set. And I walk off stage, and maybe because I just was conditioned and not getting paid, I wasn't expecting it. And my friend, who's a headliner, he goes, "Dude, there's two comedians here, the ones that get paid, the ones that don't." And I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to get paid then. And I went up to the booker, and I was like, hey, I haven't gotten paid yet. Like, I framed it like I was expecting money. And she was looking at me like, what? And she told the bartender to pay me, give me like $20. And they never booked me ever again. Now, you could say that they didn't like my comedy, which is plausible. But I'd like to think that it's because I asked for $20, right? Because they never booked me ever again. So cut to here in Florida, there's this one club. I've been trying to break into these clubs, and they were like, hey, we like you. Can you come on the weekend? I do a Friday show, Saturday show. Of course, it's my error because I didn't ask how much I was getting paid, and I get off stage and there's no payment. And I was like, what's going on here? And they were like, oh, we don't pay the comedians here. I was internally fuming, can't throw a fit because I didn't say anything, so it's my fault. But every time they ask me to come back, I just say no because it's like, I feel I'm performing 15 minutes, on a sold out show. You're charging $20 a ticket. It's a couple $100. Like, you can't cover my gas money. I'm driving an hour and a half there, hour and a half back. Like, I'm at a point in my career where, like, if I feel like I'm wronged in any way, I won't perform that. I'd rather not do comedy and use my energy somewhere else. So I just feel like as a comedian, or any artist, if you're an artist, you've got to draw a line in the sand. And for some people, it works for them, like they will do any show possible, they'll move up, somebody will see them, they're an opener. In fact, look, I was doing a travel show a couple years back and kind of went viral in New Hampshire and New England, and I sold out my hometown, and they asked me, I had like a private room, and they asked me what the door deal was. And I said 80-20. Like, I took 80% of the door. I think I made like $3,000 that night. My point to this is, if you don't like the system, then you got to go create your own opportunities. Because otherwise, there's no incentive. These guys run the rooms. And for the most part, the gatekeepers, they're just like losers. Sorry. I don't have to make absolute statements, but a lot of them are like these like degenerates. Like the guy who ran the Comedy Store for years, was like this pothead dude who was a failed musician, and he was running the Comedy Store, who had so much power over people, I sound like I'm jaded, but I can do this because I am jaded somewhat. So, hey, look, do comedy and come to your own conclusions. But I'm just telling you, you have to make your own decisions how you want to be treated, right? And go from there. The plus side is when you have some success, from what I've seen from my friends who have made it, like they just, bank money. Like it's kind of like payback for all those years they get treated like shit. And they're just like, well, I'm taking all the money and there's nothing you can do about it. So, class dismissed. Hope you guys had a great week and a fun weekend ahead. Thanks for watching. Take care.